What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of That Savage Kitchen. And on today's episode, we're going to be making a delicious last-minute Thanksgiving dinner. So make sure y'all stay tuned and let's get it. Hey, it's time to get up. It's time to be devoured. I'm sorry. Today we're going to be using a Cornish hen, but first things first, I want to say sorry about the audio. I am currently out of town. I forgot my mic, so we're going to have to do it this way. I hope you don't mind, but hey, let's get it. So we're going to be using a Cornish hen, and first what I want to do is a dry brine. This is going to help the chicken get moist, and as you can see, we are using a chicken. Don't use a turkey. I mean, you can use a turkey, but I don't care. I don't really like turkey, but I don't really care. Do whatever you want to do. Season with salt, pepper, and garlic salt. That's all you're going to need for this dry brine right now. Next, get some gloves because we are going to loosen the chicken skin. This is going to help it get a nice crust and get some more crispiness. If you've seen Peking duck, you know that they do this usually with a pump, and they pump up the duck and it helps it become crispy and have a nice golden brown skin. Bro, it's really good. Y'all need to try if y'all haven't had Peking duck, but it's very expensive. Next, put your chicken in the fridge uncovered, and we're gonna let it sit in the fridge for at least 5 hours or overnight for better results. While our chicken is brining, we are going to work on our side. So first, we're going to work on the mashed potatoes. Get 6 Yukon Gold potatoes and peel them. I forgot to peel them, but make sure y'all peel them because you're not going to need the skin in this video. So we're going to cut them up into small pieces. Get you a bowl of cold water. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt. Make sure you boil your water, obviously, and we're going to cook our potatoes till they are fork tender or knife tender where they can cut through like that. Now we're going to pour our water out, and this is what's going to help it become super smooth. If you don't have a ricer, you can do what I'm doing, which is a strainer, and I'm pushing it through the bottom and it turns to a texture like this. Add some butter, 2 tablespoons, then 2 tablespoons of some sour cream, and then a little bit of some heavy whipping cream. Honestly, there's no proper measurement for the heavy whipping cream. Add enough heavy whipping cream until you get the texture of the mashed potatoes. If you want them thick. If you want them a little more smooth and creamy, then keep adding more milk. Also, don't forget to season, but as you can see, it is super smooth, and that is how I like my mashed potatoes. Top it with some butter and some chives, and that is it. That is how you make some of the best mashed potatoes ever. Now, y'all know we can't have a Thanksgiving without some candied yams. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 yams and we're going to cut them up into some thick pieces. The size really doesn't matter. Add 2 tablespoons of water. We're not going to add too much water because there's enough water in the yams. Then we're going to add 2/3 cups of some light brown sugar. Then we're going to mix all that up, make sure everything gets coated. Then we're going to add 1/4 cup of some granulated white sugar. Yes, I know it's a lot of sugar, but y'all got to realize this is Thanksgiving. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of some vanilla extract, some nutmeg, cinnamon, and pumpkin pie spice, or use whatever seasonings you want. Mix all that up, and we are going to let that cook until they are tender. Now we're gonna open it back up and y'all see how delicious that is. Cook for 20 minutes or until tender, and add some butter. Next is this thick, nice, fluffy cornbread recipe that I'm gonna teach you how to make. So we're gonna use 2 packages. Use the Jiffy, then use the yellow cornbread mix. Now get you a bowl, add the Jiffy and add the cornbread mix, both of the packages in together. Then we're gonna add 2 eggs. Then we're gonna take 1 stick of melted butter. Yes, 1 stick. Then 3 tablespoons of butter. Then we're gonna take some buttermilk. So I'm gonna take 1 cup of buttermilk, and I'm gonna take 1/3 cup of some normal milk. We're gonna mix all that up, get you a 9x9 pan, spray it with some canola oil, and we're gonna pour it in there, and you already know what to do. Put in your oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And this is how it should come out. Rub it down with some more butter because you already know we like butter over here. But yeah, let's move on. It's been overnight, so now it's time to work on that chicken. Get some rosemary, some sage, and some thyme. Now go get that chicken from that fridge, and it should look like this, super dry. That's how we want it. So we're gonna put some moisture right back into it. By that, we are going to be using some duck fat. Duck fat is perfect for this chicken recipe, and what we're going to do is mince up our herbs like this. We're going to give this chicken the best massage it has ever had by adding them herbs and that butter, that fat, that duck fat on top. And look at that, we are just adding the moisture back in. Make sure you add some of that that duck fat into the crevices of the skin from underneath, so when it cooks in that oven, all that butter drips onto the chicken. You already know, I know it's not butter but it's fat, same thing, but there you go. It should look like that, super moist, super colorful. Add some garlic salt on top, add some black pepper, and add some other seasoning that you want to add. I kept it simple. Make sure you season both sides. Don't forget to season the bottom, so add your garlic salt and add your black pepper. You already know. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our herbs in it. We're not going to eat these, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to cook them up to temperature. Add all your herbs, and we're going to add some lemon into it, and this is going to bring out some more moisture and some flavor too. After you've done all that, take the back legs and we are going to tie them together. If you don't have butcher twine, use the method I'm about to do because it's very effective. So we're going to wrap them together like this, and then we're going to take a little bit of aluminum foil, make it like a rod, and wrap it up like that. Super simple and super easy. Now we're going to stick it in our oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. Usually what I do is I take a probe, stick it in the chicken breast, and we're going to let that cook for 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the easiest way to determine if it's cooked or not. We obviously can't have mashed potatoes without gravy, so I'm going to teach you how to make this foolproof gravy recipe. Every good broth starts with a good carrot. So what we're going to do is take 2 carrots and we're going to skin them. Make sure you skin your carrots because no one's trying to eat any dirty carrots, but we are going to make a mirepoix. So that consists of cutting some onions up and cutting some celery. Like I said, this is the last minute recipe, so we're going to use some store-bought chicken broth, but we are going to make it better. That's why we had all these ingredients cut. Pour your chicken broth and we're going to let that simmer for a good 10 minutes. After that, we are going to strain and separate the solid goods from the liquid. You can use these solids for whatever you want, but I don't really need them, I'm gonna be honest. But that is how you make your chicken broth. It tastes way better because we doctor it up. We made the chicken broth, so let's work on that gravy. First, what we're going to need is 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to need 2 tablespoons of flour. That is how you make a roux, equal parts of flour and butter or fat. After we have cooked all of our flour out, our pot should start to bubble like this, and that is how you know it is time to add your broth. So we're going to add our broth, and it should thicken up over 5 minutes. This is a time lapse, and as you can see, it got thicker than a Kardashian. You already know that's how we like it on this show, but it is super thick. If you want to thin it out, you can add more juice, but I think we good, and I'm gonna keep it like this. As a man from the South, I feel very disrespected if I don't see mac and cheese on the menu. So I'm gonna teach y'all how to make mac and cheese, but I already have a video that shows you how to make the best mac and cheese. So make sure y'all click on the top right corner, and I'm gonna show you how to make that mac and cheese. Trust me, it's my mom's recipe and she slaps on that recipe. So make sure y'all check that out after this video. Lastly, the greens. My mom won't be mad if I didn't put anything green on my plate, so we're gonna put some green beans on the plate. Get you a boiling pot of water and we're gonna par cook them for a good 10 minutes. After that, we are gonna get a sheet pan, add some olive oil, and then add your green beans on that plate, spread it out around. Then we're gonna season with a little bit of some lemon juice, the other half of the lemon juice from the turkey. Then we're gonna add some garlic, salt, then some lemon pepper. I like to keep it simple, and that is it. That's all you need. Pop down your oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes, and that is how you make green beans. After all that, the chicken should be done. But like I said, make sure y'all temp it. So I got me a little probe, I temped it. It was at 155. So I flipped it and I put it back in the oven so we can let the other side cook. And that is really it. You should be done after 10 minutes. And there you go. That is how you make the last minute, delicious, simple Thanksgiving dinner. I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving dinner. With the panoramic going on, I know it's hard for us to get together as a family, but I hope this brings y'all closer to one another. And other than that, I love y'all and I'm out.